Let me start with something that surprised me most in over 20 years of working as a relationship psychologist. Most men think they already know what a woman wants, and most of them are wrong. Not because they're bad partners, not because they don't care, but because nobody ever sat them down and actually explained it. There's no manual for this. No one taught you. And honestly, most women never say it out loud, even when they feel it deeply. I've spent more than 2 decades working with couples, young newlyweds, people in their 60s and 70s who've been together for 40 years and still feel like strangers in the same room. I've sat across from thousands of men who genuinely wanted to do better, but simply didn't know how to reach their partner anymore. So today, I want to show you 5 specific places on a woman's body. Places that go far beyond the physical. Places that, when touched with attention, unlock something emotional. And I'll tell you now, most of you will be surprised, because none of these are what you're probably expecting. Here's the thing to understand first. A woman's brain doesn't separate physical touch from emotional meaning. For a woman, touch is never just touch. Every time you reach out, her nervous system is quietly asking, is this safe? Does he see me? Does he actually care? If the answer is yes, her whole body relaxes. She opens up. She moves toward you. If the answer is no, or even just unsure, she pulls back. Not because she doesn't love you, but because her body is doing exactly what it's built to do, protect her emotional self first. I had a client once, married for over 30 years, tell me something I'll never forget. She said, I don't need him to be perfect. I just need him to slow down long enough to actually feel me, not just touch me. That sentence is the whole lesson. So let's get into it. 5 places. 5 chances to completely change how your partner responds to you. The first is the back of the neck, right at the base of the hairline. This spot is one of the most overlooked areas on a woman's body. This is where tension settles after a long day of carrying everything. Work, family, worry. When she's stressed or feeling disconnected, this is where it shows up in her body. Just the lightest touch, 2 or 3 fingertips, slow, no pressure, just warmth. Her nervous system starts to downshift. Her breathing slows, stress hormones ease, and in their place, the bonding hormone oxytocin starts to rise. She might not say anything. She might just go quiet or lean into it slightly. That silence isn't emptiness. It's her body saying yes. The second is the soft area between the shoulder blades. Think of this as her shield, the part of her back she can't reach herself, the part that carries invisible weight. This isn't about a massage. It's simpler than that. Just placing your hand there, flat, warm, still, no agenda. You're not just touching her back. You're saying something words can't always say. I've got you. You don't have to carry this alone. I worked with a couple, both recently retired, spending all day in the same house and somehow feeling miles apart. The husband started doing one simple thing every evening, walking up behind her in the kitchen and resting his hand between her shoulder blades. No words, just presence. 3 weeks later, she told him she felt like he was actually there again. The third is the hands, specifically the fingers and palm. I know what you're thinking, holding hands. That's the big secret, hear me out. There's a difference between grabbing someone's hand and actually holding it. A difference between a quick squeeze and slowly tracing your thumb across her palm. Her hands are deeply tied to her emotional world, how she gives, how she creates, how she expresses care. When you hold them with real attention, she feels understood in a way that goes straight to her heart. Next time you're sitting together, take her hand, but instead of just holding it, trace your thumb slowly along her fingers or draw small circles on her palm. No rush, no destination. Research has shown this kind of slow, deliberate touch on the hands activates the same response in the brain as emotional affirmation. In plain terms, holding her hand thoughtfully tells her she matters without saying a word. The fourth is the small hollow just below the jawline, behind the ear. This one surprises people every time. It's subtle, easy to miss, and that's exactly why it works. This area only gets touched when there's real closeness, when you're near her, present, focused on her rather than on where things are going. A gentle brush of your fingertips here, no pressure, just warmth, sends two messages at once. A wave of calm through her body and the emotional signal, I notice the small things about you. Women feel this differently than almost any other touch. It doesn't feel demanding. It feels like being truly seen. And being truly seen is one of the deepest needs a woman has in a long-term relationship. If she doesn't lean into it right away, don't push. This spot requires trust, and trust takes time. The fifth is the lower back, that hollow between the waist and the hips. The lower back is the physical center of a woman's body. It supports everything, carries everything, and in most relationships, it goes completely untouched. When you place your hand there gently, especially standing behind her, something happens. The brain reads that position as protection, as stability, as someone saying without words, I'm behind you. This isn't about control. It's the kind of presence that lets someone feel safe enough to finally let their guard down. Think about the last time you stood close to your partner like that and just rested your hand on her lower back, not going anywhere, just there. If you can't remember, that's worth noticing. So here's what I want you to take from all of this. The problem in most long-term relationships isn't a lack of love. It's a lack of language. And I don't mean spoken language. I mean the language of touch. Slow, unhurried, genuine contact that says, I see you, I'm here, you matter to me. Women, especially as they get older, don't respond to urgency. They respond to attention. They respond to a hand that moves like it has all the time in the world, because being with her is the destination, not the starting point. I worked with a man whose wife had grown distant for nearly 2 years. He was convinced the relationship was just running out of steam. I asked him one simple question. When's the last time you touched her without wanting something in return? He thought for a long time before saying, I can't remember. That was the whole answer. We talked about these places. He went home, started small, just a hand on the back of her neck while she was reading. Nothing more. No words. She looked up at him, and for the first time in a long time, she smiled at him the way she used to. That's not a trick. That's the power of consistent, intentional, respectful physical presence. So start small. Tonight, if she's nearby, walk up and place your hand on the back of her neck. Don't say anything. Don't expect anything. Just let your hand be warm and still. Tomorrow, try the lower back or take her hand and hold it like you mean it. These aren't techniques. They're expressions of care, and she will feel the difference immediately. The warmth in your hands is sometimes worth more than 1,000 well-meaning words. It's never too late to start.